Check out. Ok, ja. Dime Ronaldinho. Siendo una leyenda lo sabía desde niño. Fuesen en cariño. Comiendo el almuerzo me faltaba el aliño. ¿Por qué no frontea, mini? Si tú tienes porte te lo juro no eres fea. Flow duro como un Lamborghini. Solo a las cosas como quieres y donde sea. Somos leyenda, 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 leyendas vivas. Somos leyenda, 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 leyendas vivas. La gente pone las reglas para que los otros las sigan. Afuera, afuera esa gente que siempre tiene esa manía. Somos Somos las leyendas vivas. Somos las leyendas vivas. Stop.
Do people only like women that look like this?
Is this what beauty looks like?
Beauty is not what you're sold.
It's what you're told.
Celebrate the day. Get your own beer. Kindness spreads farther than you realize. Even if people don't accept your kindness, it's good to spread it all around. Be the good in the world.
Well, good evening, shipheads.
Well, that
My
was
name is Tim
sexy.
Roll, otherwise known as Lee Douche Canoe, otherwise known as the guy from the Preparation H commercials, otherwise known as the guy that comes in the middle of the night and steals puppies from little children, otherwise known as the guy that sits with my Budweiser "What's Up" t-shirt, drinking a nice Shirley Temple after eating all the fish tacos at the all-you-can-eat taco bar while listening to the love of my life, Olivia Newton-John, sing "I Honestly Love You," all alone. That's me, Tim Rowan, and I'm here to tell you that I know nothing about anything. Yeah, I'm just a guy that writes crap, really. Don't believe anything I say. Whatever I say, it's usually just made up. I usually write it on the toilet. Usually I write it on toilet paper, and then I wipe my butt, and then I flush it, and then it ends up in the newspaper. So there you have it, shipheads. It's me, Tim Rowan. What's up, begawk?
Check out. Ok, ja. Dime Ronaldinho. Siendo una leyenda lo sabía desde niño. Fuesen en cariño.
Uh-oh. There we go. Where's old Larry, though? Well, I think I can fix that. It wasn't the easiest thing ever, but you know what? I think we got it. Look at you. Just look at you. In all your glory. They can't see you yet, but, we'll get you in here. Hold on. We'll get you right there, and I'll put you behind me. There you go. Look at that.
Yay.
I got him. Boy, oh boy, we had more things happen again this evening that, woof. It's an experience every week, Larry, and this week was no different. Let me say, I am happy to see that the chat is showing up in the screen. You see that? Isn't that?
I sure do.
That's high tech.
I got to tell everybody, we practiced this for about an hour,
Mm-hmm.
and then we went and got ready and got back on. And I was just sitting here thinking I had done everything right, and it turns out it was all on me. And if he could have reached through the screen with a knife, he'd have stabbed me right in my eyeball.
I wonder if Larry has an echo, though. I'm hearing one from him, but that might just be on my end. So we'll see what the peeps say. But Larry is low in the mix. That's what they say every week, and I just don't know what to tell you.
He just
really
wants
don't.
to make himself look really big. That's all.
Yeah,
I'll try to sit up a little higher.
I can give Larry a little bit of extra oomph on the audio. But you're at 106%, so it is what it is.
I'll try to get closer to the microphone.
How's that? That was a struggle to open up the chat.
Woo!
Glad I didn't miss much. You didn't miss anything, Kelly. You missed nothing. Absolutely zero. Good God. What is it good for? How was your week, Larry? Let's talk about it.
Well, when you live in St. Louis, if you don't like the weather, you just wait till the next day, and it's usually different. So last 3 days were golfing weather. I was able to get out yesterday and today, and tomorrow will be right back down into the 30s. So anytime you can get out playing golf in St. Louis in January, it's a good day.
Well, I'm envious. I did go golfing Sunday virtually. You would have thought that I was like, it was my first time golfing. That's all I'm going to say. That's how bad it was, Larry. But you know what?
Did you have fun?
No, actually. I found myself the whole time kind of... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
You like the sound effects there? I don't know if that came through on the live stream. I'll get that figured out.
I heard it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's my question. When you're out there golfing, did you throw any of your clubs?
No, I didn't. I did not.
All right. Well, then you're controlling your temper.
Yep. No, I was fine. I just,
Because when I told Melissa what I had done wrong to set this up, she's like, he doesn't have the patience for you because you're not very techy. I said, he's going to have to. Oh, yeah. Cruising for food. Thank you very much.
Wow. Look at you. I'm curious though. Somebody tell me, is that audio coming through? I really need to know if the, oh yeah, is coming through. Cause it's so funny. Okay. Good.
I can
They
hear
can
it.
hear it. They can hear
All
it. Good. I'm glad that's the case.
So I heard earlier that Kelly hadn't been feeling well.
That's correct.
How's she doing today?
She's better now. And you know how I know she's better, Larry?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you.
Tell me. I'd be guessing.
She was quick to tell me all of the bad stuff that I had done. Like, that, upset her. So,
Oh, that couldn't have
Yeah.
been too long.
well.
So here's my question: since she's not
the
feeling
list is
well,
long. The list is long.
well, since she's not feeling well, and you're in on the lower level and she's upstairs, I was just wondering, did you give her the bullhorn to yell at you in case she needed something?
No, but the bullhorn's here, and I'm kind of excited to bring that back out, but I'm saving it actually for a special occasion. So, more to follow on that.
All right. I just thought that'd be a good way for her to give a shout out that she needed something new, because I know you'd run up there and do it right away for her.
Yeah, well, I'm here to help as much as I can, but after what she went through last week, I'm gonna cut her some slack.
There's been a lot of bad stuff going around for a long time. I was under the weather for a good 6 to 7 weeks, and it's just not fun. It just kind of goes from one thing to another, and when you get those different infections and that, it's just tough to fight them off. So I'm feeling great. I'm feeling back to normal. It's taken a while, but I actually feel 100%. I'm ready to do all my regular stuff. I'm ready to travel. I'm ready to cruise. But before I do that, I had to give everybody my bourbon of the week.
Oh, okay. I like it. Jefferson's. Ooh, I do love me some Jeffersons.
So I was going to wait and try it neat before we went on, but when I realized I was the one screwing us up going, I thought I better have a bourbon real quick. So I will try it neat. I am not a neat person, but all these different people tell me when you try it that you need to try it neat and stick your nose in there and smell it before you taste it, and then smell it as you're tasting it. But I'm not one for. I love coffee, but that's about the only thing. Coffee and tea hot. But when I have bourbon, I like it chilled. But I will give it a go neat. I will give it.
It's funny, Larry. I love it. It's hilarious that you're trying it neat as well. I'm drinking it neat myself, but only because I didn't have time to go get ice.
It's right around the corner.
I didn't have time.
Oh, all right, here we go.
So I'm trying to size myself up to Larry so I somewhat match his size, but
it's definitely vanilla, definitely an oak. It's not a high proof. So
that's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite makers of bourbon, quite frankly. And I love the Ocean, the Jefferson's Ocean. Right. But for the money, you can't beat that. You can't beat that. I was hoping that maybe on some level you would discuss the big changes that went on. But before I do that, I just did want to acknowledge a very special thank you for all of the super chats. I saw that we had one from Wanda Chiquita Bonita Byram. I also saw, well, you know what? How about I just look and then I won't be so, or can I look? Maybe I can't look. Oh boy. Help me. Help me. Where's the chat? Tess Almond, she said, what's the 411 on 406? 406. I don't know what that means, but Tess, thank you for the super chat. Wanda, what the heck is... Oh, I get it. Listen, y'all. I'll fix the thumbnail later, okay? Always be booked. Thank you. Thank you. I hope your live stream went well. As you could see, once again, we had some issues. I think the hard part is over now that we've got Larry on the high speed, right? I think everything's going to work out just fine. And
unfortunately, I didn't get that till last night at like 8 o'clock at night. Unbelievably, Spectrum still does calls that late at night. So it was he was there for a long time. Then getting everything hooked up after that, and then John's been busy at work. So literally he got home from work and we were on it from like 6:15 to 7:30, trying to make sure everything's lined up. But I here's the thing. After tonight, I won't touch a thing.
No, you won't. And you know what? You won't have to. That's the great part about it, is that you won't have to touch anything. So it'll work out just fine. I see Scott Stevenson, my boy Scott Stevenson. He sent a super sticker. He said, keep it up. And, you know, I can appreciate that. I see we haven't installed all of the, what's the word I'm looking for? All of the fun stuff, that comes along with the live. I'm kind of playing it slow because I just don't trust a dang thing. You know what I'm saying? I just don't trust it. And until I can, and until I know that we can successfully do it, I've left a lot of those elements out. But this is for all of you who gave us the super chats. We appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know if the audio went out. It certainly didn't. I think the audio is playing, but we just can't hear it, which is fine. I can survive without it. But, I did want to talk about this. So here's how it goes down. Larry, we're talking about the internet, and I said, okay, how is this going to work for you? And he said, well, what they're doing is they are sending me a self-install kit. And that was my first cause of concern. Self-install kit.
Someone else is also.
Yeah, so
maybe the beauties.
So I was worried, right? I had some trepidation on that front because I knew that a self-install for Larry, anyway, you get the point. So I said, okay, it's time to install this thing. I'm talking to Larry on the phone and I said, okay, what's the cable going into your house, right? And so we were going back and forth trying to figure it all out. And at one point, I had to Google Earth Larry's place, and I literally creeped on him and walked down the street on Google Maps and took screenshots of the side of his house and said, hey, this is where your cable comes in. And, that was pretty cool, I thought. But what's funny is it still didn't work because the cable people didn't have their stuff connected at the box right. So in the end, Larry still had to get the cable guy. But you know what? It's all good. It's all good.
Well, if the cable would have been hooked up, then it would have been an easy install. But I knew that was going to be an issue. But if I wouldn't have had to have the guy come out because he had to try to figure out the direction the wire was going, and he determined it was going up into my attic. And so he climbs up in my attic. He said, I got this figured out. I'll have you up and running in no time. We can use the hookup right here in your office, where I'm at right now. And when it was all done, he says, hey, when I was up in your attic, do you know you have an original Xbox up there with all kinds of other equipment?
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Like, what? He's like, oh, it's all piled up there. But he's like, that original Xbox, you can get some money for that. But he's like, there is so much stuff up there. So I guess over the years, the people who lived here before me, that was their storage area. Or maybe they were grounding their kid from Xbox from a week and they forgot where they put it. But I never would have known that stuff was up there because it's not easy for me to get up a ladder and climb up into this. I have vaulted ceilings. It is not easy to get up there, but he was great. He didn't complain about being here late at night. gave me a few tips of actually what not to do and how to save money. And so I was just glad to get it all hooked up. Unfortunately, they couldn't come today, but I'll tell you, I knew John had no confidence in me with any of this stuff when I'm talking about it. He goes, "You mind if I give them a call?"
Yeah, I actually see. I wasn't gonna say that, Larry. I was gonna leave that out.
I knew it as soon as he said, "Do you mind if I give them a call?" I'm like, "Oh, he doesn't trust me on this at all." And he shouldn't. I'm not a technical person. I do the regular stuff and I do anything that I need to if I'm taught, but I don't go out of my way to learn things that I don't use all the time. But then all of a sudden I get a phone call and I see it's from Michigan and I'm on a 3-way with the guy. We can come tomorrow night between 7 and 8 o'clock. And he knew all the right questions to ask the guy. So he was a tremendous help in getting this up and running.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The guy who I talked to on the phone on your behalf, I caused some confusion because he asked for your service address, and I gave him everything about your service address correctly, except for when it came to saying what state. For whatever reason, I said Michigan, and he's like, something's wrong, and I'm like, no, that's right, and he goes, no, sir, it's not right, and I said, well, I don't know what it could be then, and he goes, what state did you say? And I said Missouri. He said, no, you didn't, but he got it all worked out.
Yes.
Robin Allison says, Larry, you are my kind of techie guy. I just want it to work. Right. Well, we got it to work. We had some issues. We're still having a few kinks to work out. But see, the good part is that with Larry and I, now that we've figured out this part of it, like he said, all he has to do is restart. So now we can start tweaking like we did with Doodles. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, we're headed in the right direction, and I just need to take a few notes on the startup part of it to make sure that goes smoothly and we don't have a delay.
Well,
it's my fault, and I apologize. I'm sorry to everybody for having you guys hold up. I saw the chat was going really well, so everybody was talking to each other on the chat, so that all went good. But yeah, that was a bad mistake on my part, and he pointed out to me, and as soon as he unhooked, I knew what he was thinking in his mind. If I had a knife and go through the screen, I would stab you in the heart.
Well, so Larry, full disclosure, right? So Larry was he was there, and he went to the meeting that I had created, right? But he didn't type in his name and click join. So he kept telling me, I'm here, and he wasn't there. And, but we got it. Enough of that. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Because I know that once again, and I love this about you, Larry, you have put together a list or some talking points for this evening. And
I have to start it off with our bourbons. Now hold your bourbon up again.
Okay. And let me show you my nice glass.
Oh,
the man, the myth, nice. The rooster.
That is nice. But typically, wouldn't you put one of these in there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
So anybody that has these are the round ice cubes. So you get an ice tray, you fill in the bottom, you click on the top, and then you put a funnel in the top. You put a funnel in the top, and you got to fill it back up to get the whole thing. So if you don't fill it, you get half of a round. So at Christmas time, I was at my son's house, and he gave me this. So it's in a square that you don't have to put any funnel in. It makes the same type of cube, and it's just so much easier to get out to. So my tip of the day is go with the square big cubes versus the round.
Okay. Listen, You know, everyone knows that the Ship Show is a good source of pro tips. Am I right? So well played, well played. And you know, the one thing that I definitely am struggling with this evening is that normally I have a chat monitor in front of me, and for whatever reason tonight, it's not working. I can see the chat over here, and I feel like I'm missing a lot of good comments, like this one from Daniel Fields that y'all can see over here. He says Death Star ice cubes. Have you seen those, Larry?
Well, that's what I try to make, but there is a certain technique to get that totally full. So the easiest way for me is I do half, I freeze them, and then I fill the top part of it, and then try to make those things. I struggle to make them perfectly clear. So when I make them, they'll be a little kind of foggy in there. But they work great, but they're still a little bit more difficult, or I think a lot more difficult than the squares. And the squares, there's no top part, there's no funnel. It's easy to pop them out, and you basically have the same thing. So that's the way I feel about it. I still think the rounds are super cool looking, but the squares might be a little easier.
Well, before I forget, I did also want to mention that I got a package from my sock exchange buddy, and that whole situation, quite frankly, it has really become a very interesting thing because I got socks for my sock buddy, right? And I sent them, but the address that said sock buddy gave me was a UPS store. Okay. I shipped her package FedEx, and the place that I shipped it from had sent me an email and I didn't see it. Right. Oh, look at that. Doodles is here. He says, Baba Booey. Well, would you just look at that?
Well, hopefully Doodles has a rooster in front of him. We'll have to educate everybody what a rooster is.
Well, yes, indeed. But this is for Doodles. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Thank you. Thank you for being here, my friend. That's all. But now I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? I'm counting on you, Larry. What was I saying?
Damn it. You're counting on me again.
Oh, snap.
As soon as I heard Doodles, and I started thinking of our day at your club, and oh boy. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't be there to help you out on that one, but I will tell that story.
Oh, well,
So
okay, I got
it. You remember?
Yeah, so the sock exchange. Right. So they sent me an email and they said, we're afraid that the FedEx won't deliver to the UPS store, okay? They were afraid that FedEx would not deliver to the UPS store because apparently Debbie Nini, who that's my sock exchange buddy, she has a post office box there, right? So I had to switch it. I didn't have to, but I just said better to be safe than sorry. So I switched it to UPS instead and sent it out. But it took an extra day, you know. But I got my package from Debbie, and I wanted to share it for sure. This is one of the things that I received in that package. These pretzels that I've kind of already...
they look tasty.
Oh, they're tasty, all right. They're... I think they're like a brand that everyone loves. I don't know, maybe not, but I feel like it's a famous brand. I don't know, but they're very good. Naughty pretzels.
Hold it up again. Hold it up.
Naughty.
Again. What's the brand?
Naughty. You know, like Naughty Nurse Nancy.
Yeah.
I see your comment, Pepito. I see your comment. I threw your broken whale tail away, and you'll have a trapper keeper when I see you soon. Speaking of trapper keepers, somebody better not say another word to me about trapper keepers. That's all I'm going to say. If you're in the chat, you know who you are, and your trapper keeper speak is over. Not TX Pepito, though. He can give me all the hard time he wants. But look at this. I also got these. Rooster socks. Look closely. Like rooster sock. Can I do it? Can I do it? There you go.
Very nice.
Are those not the coolest thing ever?
The coolest.
But look at this. Now, I know I was doing some stuff the other day with Mitch Dewinski, right? She sent me mullet socks. Mullet socks, y'all. I cannot wait to wear these across the Lido of the ship on this upcoming cruise. And these things just flowing in the wind as I walk across the pool deck like nothing's wrong, like everything's fine.
I want you to dive into the pool with those on.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I would, well, you know what? I can't do that, Larry. Because if I do that, I'll ruin them.
Like somebody, does it look like a man lost his toupee?
Yeah, I don't want to ruin them. So
here's what I saw during all that sock exchange stuff. Somebody didn't post theirs or whatever, and all of a sudden somebody's like, "You have to post it." That's the most fun, is to see what everybody got. And I was like, "Well, we got an issue here because I got all these nice meat and cheeses from Wisconsin, and I already ate them all, so I'm not left with much to show." But
who is your buddy?
Oh, I can't even tell you.
Oh.
Here's my tip for next year. This is my tip for next year. I'm just offering a suggestion. Men exchange with men. Females exchange with females.
Well, I can tell you this much. I don't even know if there will be one next year. And I don't blame her. Liz isn't happy. There were quite a few people who gave the big green weenie, signed up for the sock exchange, and didn't send their socks. Which left not only those people without socks, but also left me with 5 sock exchange buddies, if you know what I'm saying. Because I'm not going to let people get hosed out of their sock exchange without any kind of, at the very least, let them know that it's not happening so that it doesn't come down to them not getting anything at all, is all I'm going to say. So we'll see. Next year, Liz was talking about possibly letting people choose for themselves. I'm not sure how I feel about that idea, but I do know that it is one of my favorite things in our group is that sock exchange. And, that's all I'm going to say. But also, I got some nice Texas trash mix. It looks like peanuts and some kind of like crunchy nougat jammer. I don't know. Klein Brothers, Texas Foods. Debbie's in Texas now. She used to be in Louisiana. But then also Moose Munch. Got some Moose Munch.
That is good stuff right there.
Now,
just don't look at the calories, but that is amazing stuff.
Okay, so how many servings per container? 7 servings. This says there's 7 servings in here, and each one is 150 calories.
That's so they can keep the calories down.
Okay.
7 servings.
Now, I don't know for sure that this was part of my sock exchange, but it was on top of the box when I brought it downstairs, so I don't know what it is or what it might have been for. But, it is what it is. But I did want to say thank you so much to my sock exchange buddy.
Well, I'm embarrassed that I can't remember mine. I am very embarrassed, but she sent a great selection of things. I was with Melissa in it's Old Town St. Charles. It's Main Street, Lewis and Clark Trail. It's very historic. And there's a place that makes bath bombs, and you walk in the place, it smells amazing. And I sent her 2 of those, and that was the first thing she commented was how amazing those smelled. So I hope she liked what I sent her. But again, I had to have Melissa with me because I was sending to a woman to make sure I was sending the right type of things. Where if it had been a man, no offense to women, I would have been more comfortable sending stuff to a male versus a female. But I had fun with it. Melissa had one. They exchanged great things. She had a lot of fun with it. So I would say if you don't send your stuff, then you might be eliminated from the list. How about that?
I like that.
You know?
No, I totally, I
Eliminated
can
from
dig that.
partaking if you stiffed your partner, then you're out. Then you can't take part in it again. I mean, I think that's more than fair.
Don't stiff your partner unless you mean to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so there's another thing that isn't all I'm going to say. There's more that I want to say. Norwegian, get your stuff together, okay? Get it together. I cannot believe the kind of bullshit that I had to go through checking in for this dang cruise. I'm actually pretty pissed about it because, well, I was one of the lucky ones. I'm sure there were others that had to deal with the same stuff I was dealing with, right? But when it came time to check in for this vlogger cruise, you did all the stuff that you would normally do to check in, right? Yeah, like, you know, all the check-in stuff. And it would offer you add-ons like priority boarding, which I ordered. And I wasn't the only one. And thank God for Jenny and Sharon for catching it ahead of time. There was a glitch in the system, right? And basically anybody who purchased an add-on in the check-in process, it never got processed, and it became something in their non-existent shopping cart. Do you understand? And so there were people who were at risk of getting their cruise canceled because of not paying their outstanding bill. Kevin Brubaker says, darn it, that was my loincloth. Maybe. And if there are people that don't get anything posted, some of us will fill in so you don't have to. No, it's all good. And quite frankly, I enjoy it. Last time this happened, I designed and sent out a one-of-a-kind item that only one person in the world has. And that was a hat, or a towel that I sent to a very nice lady who didn't get her sock exchanged. So she's the only one that has a ship show towel with York and I's face on it, which, you know, that's kind of cool. Speaking of which,
what kind of towel is it?
Like a beach towel, you know, it says ship show on it. Yeah, it was all done up nice. But speaking of which, where am I at here? Where is this at? I wanted to show people something because today, if you guys remember, when we went to Vegas, York and I had like this really cool banner. It still sits in the studio to this day on my desk, and it says Koopa Cabana on it. And I've always tried to take it when I knew I was going to have a cabana. On Bromania last year, we knew we were going to have one, but I couldn't take it. I couldn't because there wasn't enough room, and I promised everyone I would pack, you know, carry-ons only, much to my regret.
Save space for that Carnival luggage.
Yes. Well, that was Royal Caribbean. It was Royal, but still.
Gotcha.
What a surprise. Group Cruise has a ship show check-in. I know, Wanda.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
The beauty with a super chat.
I added a rooster package. Good thing I prepaid that. Well, good for you. Good for you. I know, Richard Z. The Roosters rants will be coming. This is all trial and error. It's not just as simple as plugging and playing. We got to feel each other out and everything. But yeah, you don't need priority boarding in the Haven. We get all that. And quite frankly, even though it didn't process, I got the boarding time that I wanted. So you know what? I'm all set. What do you mean? Oh, it wasn't Wanda. It was Crazy Cat Traveler. Look at me just screwing it all up. Sorry. Crazy Cat Traveler, it was you. You get all the credit. That banner, John Boy left it behind. Yes, you brought it to me, but today, Larry,
Yes.
I designed a new one. And I think if you looked at the thumbnail, you kind of got to see it, but I had to rush that. That thumbnail was put together in the moments leading up to the show. But today I designed this, which I thought was pretty cool. I don't know what you think, Larry, but I think it's the greatest thing ever.
Pretty cool. As soon as I can get somewhere, I'm going to get that blown up into a great big poster, and I'll put it across the front windows of my condo.
Yes. So this right here that you're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be on our cabana, as the Francisconis would say, when Arnold Kump and Dana Kump and myself and Kelly and Stella go on or get to Harvest K in our villa. We rented a villa, and I can't wait. This is going to be hanging there. And if you look real close in the O, in the second O, I'm curious if anybody's got this on in their big screen TV. I would love to do this experiment while we're live. If anyone's got this on their big screen or on a computer, could you open up your phone camera and point it at that QR code and let me know if it works? As a matter of fact, I'll make it bigger. Oh, hold on. I can't do that. Hold on. Let me make it bigger so maybe somebody can scan this QR code. It might not work. Oh, but you know what will work? You know what will work? Let's do this test right here, Larry. I just realized I'm in full geek out mode. I can
tried
do it
it.
this
I couldn't
way.
get it to work.
No, but I can do it this way. Watch this. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Check this out. Check this out. Uh-oh, Larry's smoking a cigar. All right, here we go. Check this out. Can anybody scan this QR code and tell me what happens? Yeah, you know what, Tess? She says she can't access that area, and they won't be able to see it or you. I didn't realize that when we booked the villa, that it was more of an exclusive private area. But, you know, now I know. I found that out yesterday. So does it take you to a website that shows you all three of our links? Where does it take you? That's what I want to know.
It says,
Daniel
"Welcome to
Fields."
the ship show. It says, "Welcome to the ship show, the cruising coop."
Oh,
And
so
it's
it
got-
does
you can
work.
Click a video. Yeah.
All
It's
right.
got cruise vlogs, interactive. Follow us
All right.
on Graham. Yeah, it works.
So that's what you call a dynamic link.
See,
And
I
I'll
am
be a
little
suck
techie.
egg mule. I am a total nerd, and I was extremely happy to geek out on that one. That's all I'm going to say. So it did work. I'm happy. I've tested it myself, so I knew it did, but I thought maybe it only worked for me. So there you go.
Super cool. So when you on this next cruise,
Mm-hmm.
the destination you're looking the most forward to?
That's a great. I'll tell you. I know. It's very, very easy. It's Roatan, and I have a story about this too. Infinity Bay, Roatan. That's just. If you've never snorkeled at Infinity Bay, I'm sure there's better places. Thanks, everyone. They're saying it worked. I appreciate it. There's lots of good snorkel places around here in the world, and I get it. But I have never, in my experience, seen anything like what I saw in Infinity Bay out there about 200 yards out. And it was Larry Thomas that turned me on to it. Maybe put the banner on the
thing
fence.
about that. So we've been to Honduras before.
The only thing
And,
I
like,
saw, wait, speaking of Infinity Bay, I saw a booty fish.
I was gonna say, well, that's what I was leading into. So when you're by the ship at that beach, that water is not clear. It's not clear at all. And then you go to Infinity Bay, and it is super clear.
Agreed.
So when you were snorkeling at Infinity Bay with the most amazing, it was the water was as clear as St. John's. So did you come across anything that you weren't expecting?
I saw those eels with teeth. You know what I'm talking about?
That's all you saw.
Snorkeling
in Infinity Bay.
Well, that was the only thing I saw that. Well, I won't even say that. Could have been scary. I saw a bumfish.
I'll tell the story. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm out with my man Jamie out in the water, and you're like underwater, and you're just going 100 miles an hour, kicking your feet. And I said to Jamie, "Let him snorkel up to this," and I turned around and dropped my drawers.
Yeah, well, I had the GoPro going, and I didn't miss that shot because it was straight up booty cam all the way.
You came right up out of the water and asked me if I forgot my comb.
Yeah, well, it looked like Larry Thomas turned John on. Well played, Doodles. Well played. Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Thank you, Mary Barkley.
Are we behind on our super chats?
I think we just got the one from Mary Barkley there. That's the only one I recall after the other one.
Go back.
Oh, Melissa. Melissa Kaiser. Look at you out there just
How about the beauty? Not only tuning in and then giving us the old super chat.
Well, she's saying that she's our #1 fan, and I don't know if that's true.
To be our #1 fan, don't you have to tune in every week now?
I would say so, yes. I would say that's absolutely a requirement, but I would also say to be our, well, never mind. We'll discuss that later. We'll discuss it later. But I do have something for her. What could I give her that's a fun clip? Let me see.
She's seen the Paradise Beach one too many times.
Oh, really? You don't think she'll like that?
Yeah, give her that one. You can't go wrong with that one.
Well, I don't have it that quickly available to me, so unfortunately.
Well, I'll keep talking as you look for it.
Yeah.
So anyone, and I'm going to say this because I'm a huge cruise fan, and I tell this to people all the time. I've been on 36 cruises. I've never been on a bad one, ever. You make the most of them, and there are so many things to cruising besides the places you go. But unfortunately,
don't you worry about it. You keep going, Larry.
it's a hotel resort, has a pool. The beach it's the closest thing to Hawaii I've ever seen. They have palm trees all over. The water is so you go a lot and you're tired of going to Mr. Sancho's or Paradise Beach, it's just a nice alternative. Um, Costa Maya, that is a tough one. There's a lot to do right at the port. Typically, you don't have a lot of shore excursions to choose from. And I know that a couple times that I'd signed up for like a catamaran snorkeling was canceled because of rough water. So you make the most of it. If you've been to some of the places over and over and you just don't care for it, just stay on the ship. Especially if you're on one of the newer ones like the Celebration, Mardi Gras, Symphony, Wonder. It's a destination in itself. And at the end of the week, you'll feel like that day there was a lot of people off of it, and so you were able to see a lot of the ship. So that's just a little tip that I have. Are you still working out? Still working on? There we go.
I was making you like big time, like trying to make it so that you would.
No, you don't need to do that.
But it didn't work the way I wanted it to. So
Right.
Here we are back to that. So
my other tip would be, so when I do cruises, I take a manila envelope and I put all the cruise information on the one side of the manila envelope. There we go. And on the back side, I put all my flight information on that. And then all my cruise documents, before you'd have to have COVID tests, all that stuff, I would put that in it. So I was always very prepared with all the proper paperwork and just things, my hotel reservation for the night before you go on a cruise, I'd put all that on there. And so I do that for every cruise. And it's just kind of a nice way to organize your stuff. Literally, I put down even the price of the cruise, and then I'll keep checking the price of the cruise to see if the fare goes down and you can get some type of a credit. So that's just another little tip I have. I will just say this though. This week I just booked the Allure of the Seas with friends of ours, and I feel that cruise fares are going back down. In the peak times, they're pretty expensive, but there are many times of the year that they're not bad. So I just booked the Allure of the Seas.
Can I just say it's?
March.
Can you just say Allure of the Seas? The makes it sound like you're not someone who's been on that many cruises.
Okay, all right. I apologize.
I'm
Allure
just
of the
kidding.
Seas. You can get a balcony. For I thought you were going to put super awesome comment.
Wait a minute, $50? Is that what you said?
$1,500.
Oh, I was going to be like,
1500.
hey, get the flock out of here with that. Okay.
$1,500 for a balcony. To me, that's a great deal. You go out of Galveston, you go out of the brand new terminal. There's a lot of deals to be had. I mean, of course, when kids are out of school, you're going to pay more. But then I already started looking at cruises in September, and 7-night cruises on the Oasis class ships of Royal Caribbean are like really reasonable. I will say this, that the extras are getting kind of expensive, especially the drink packages. So right now, the drink package on my Allure of the Seas cruise, the Allure of the Seas, I don't know if you're listening.
I heard you say the Allure of the Seas.
Oh, I did not this time. I said Allure.
Okay. All right.
$1,250.
Well, I will agree on some level, but then everywhere you turn, prices are going up, or not. I shouldn't say that. They're raising prices, right? And there are some people, no names, please, who cannot control their desire to let certain brand ambassadors know how upset they are. And for me, it just seems like, for one, they're not going to be able to change anything. If I just don't see like sending messages to people online is going to change anything for us as cruisers, right? These cruise lines, I would like to think, even though some might say otherwise, are probably a lot smarter than us, right? And I'd have to guess that a lot of thought went into whatever pricing that they came up with in order to stay viable. Do they need to make money? Yes. Do they always do it in a way that makes the customer happy? Probably not. Is it going to stop me from cruising? That's the question. And I can tell you unequivocally that it will not. And you find a good deal on a cruise, I don't care what they're charging for, an additional plate in the MDR. I'm okay with that. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
My answer is if you could always go up to the buffet, eat all you want, or go to get all you want pizza. I mean, there's places that you can still get more food at. I don't go on cruises to eat. I enjoy the meals that are given. I enjoy the specialty restaurants, but I've just never gone to dinner thinking I'm gonna get as much as possible. And here's my thing. So I put it all in perspective because I was like, with Royal, if people don't know this, you can get as many drinks as you want.
Right.
I mean, they can cut you off if you're getting out of control. But Carnival, you get 15 drinks and that's it. When you hit 15, you can't even buy them. You're done. You're cut off. With Royal, you're not, and that's why they charge more.
Right.
But I was at a restaurant last week, bar restaurant. Nothing super fancy. And I was looking at the menu and seeing what kind of beer selection they had. And Budweiser, Bud Light, Miller Light, Coors Light, they were $8.
Okay.
$8 for a 12-ounce bottle. So it's like you have options when you go to a restaurant. If you don't like that place, you can go probably less than a block or two to go somewhere else. On a cruise ship, you're not going to go anywhere else. And so people will ask me about the drink package, and I'll say, if you get a drink on its own, you're going to spend probably $8.95 for a 16-ounce beer plus tip and tax. You could get a pina colada with a Myers rum, and it's probably going to be $14. So it's all in perspective. I'm not saying that it's a ripoff. I'm not saying that it's something I wouldn't do. I'm just saying that the prices have gone up where I feel cruise fares are actually coming back down again. So if you get a great deal on a cruise and you want the drink package, don't complain about the price because getting you on the ship was a better deal. That's kind of the point I was trying to make.
Well, Tess mentioned it. She would rather the cruise fare go up than 20% or 25% add-ons to like a throughout the cruise, right? And I can get behind that. And I do understand, at the end of the day, it all comes down to value for your money. And regardless of what they're adding to our cruise fares, in my opinion, I feel like it's commensurate out there on land-based vacations too, right? Those prices haven't stayed the same. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I still feel like the value is still there, even though there's been increases. But 7 Empest, they say, that's a new name for me, and I like to see it. They say they go on cruises to party. Don't we all? Don't we all? And I'm looking forward to partying real soon. I couldn't find the Larry Burp clip, but I do have this for Melissa. That's not what I have.
Oh. That's
classic.
Yeah, you can't beat that. That's a classic.
Yes, you can't.
So I will say this. So I'm Diamond Plus on Royal. I get 6 free drinks a day. And I still get the drink package.
Mm-hmm.
I want one, and again, I learned this from Jamie. So I don't care what the cruise is when I have a drink package. If I order a Bloody Mary, I'm not going to say Bloody Mary. I'm going to say Grey Goose Bloody Mary. I'm going to say Kettle One,
Mm-hmm.
whatever vodka I want. I would never go to the bar and say I'll do a bourbon on the rocks. It's like, so I always say this to people: go, or if you don't know, just ask the bartender what is the best Cabernet Sauvignon I can have with a drink package, and he'll tell you. The other great thing about it is, I was on. I think it was the.
Well played, Steve Morales. I need a cigar too.
I was on Symphony of the Seas, and I said the same thing. What's the best Cabernet you have? And he's like, I just poured it to this man, and it's unfortunately it's over the drink package, but it's phenomenal. It's probably the best you'll ever have. It's $17. So if you have the drink package, you pay $2. You pay the overage of $15 max on the drink. So it's just a great way to try things. I don't think it's a ripoff by any means. I really don't. I'm just pointing out that some things have increased, and be prepared for it. But even with the 6 free drinks, and Royal even changed this. So before recently, if it was your first 6, so if you ordered 6 Bud Light, and then the evening you got 6 Buffalo Trace, you paid for the Buffalo Trace and not the Bud Light. So now you can say if you want that to go to your 6 free drinks or not.
Easy now.
Yeah. But to me, it's like, I want to have that paid for before I go. That expense is done. I can get what I want. Not worry about what it's costing me. So that's my tip on that.
Well,
Airfare, that's another story.
Hey,
Airfare has gotten ridiculous.
Well,
I mean ridiculous cheap.
There's been some really good comments, though. I see a lot of people with different perspectives, and Daniel Fields, he says, we would all like to see tips and services fees included in the base price and let extras be extra. I get that, but again, that's not something that's necessarily changing so much. But when people start getting upset about the amount of times their room gets turned down, I just sometimes wonder if maybe they're putting too much focus on little things as opposed to the fun. And listen, if it upsets you, you're more than welcome to complain here. Honestly, you know me. I never ever shy away from complaining, so I'm not one to talk. Sometimes I say, let's not temper our expectations, but let's be fair as we're coming out of this pandemic and see what the cruise line is going to do. And honestly, the market's going to settle down, and then competition will return, and the prices will, be more reasonable again. But whether or not somebody cleans my room 4 or 5 times a day, I could care less. As a matter of fact, they could clean it once every 2 days. Just make sure that you get my press clothes in. That's all I'm going to say. Jamie Wilhite says, John, don't leave your passport on the plane. I will try not to. Looks like a merch opportunity. Ship Show branded folders. Always Be Book Crude podcast, which, by the way, you had a hard time pronouncing in this upcoming video. They are suggesting that you sell folders just like the ones you were showing us. And I kind of like it, Larry. Larry branded Ship Show folders.
I can have all the information already filled out, what you should be putting down. That was a great tip. I got to tell you. Yes, I like it very much.
Well,
but I did like the tip you got even better. Don't leave your passport on the plane.
Yeah, I won't. I did it in Nassau. I won't do it again.
You were excited. It was the first cruise back. You were excited.
Yeah, I mean,
you fell asleep on the plane.
Yeah. I wasn't even a little bit surprised. I am regretting jamming my mouth full of those nuts.
So,
speaking of eggs,
go ahead. Go.
York Ragsdale, he says, speaking of eggs, TCU just laid one. Screw TCU, screw Michigan, screw them all. I live in Florida, and we can easily drive to the ports. I'm not a big drinker, but if I can get a special cruise fare with the drink package included, I'll take it. Agreed.
I do. I will just say this. When you go on Norwegian, you look at the prices and you're like, it seems kind of high. And then you realize, okay, they just include the drink package in it, internet. They give you the different options, which you pay for it one way or the other. I'm just saying, for somebody that's not a big drinker, you're not. But you like your bottled water. You like a couple sodas. You like specialty coffees. And let's just say you have 4 kind of fruity drinks, a pina colada, Miami Vice, whatever. You're going to be over the 70 whatever dollars on Royal. You'll be way over on Carnival. That's like usually about, I think, 59 now. It adds up. So it's more than just the alcohol that you get in the drink package. Royal, you go into the buffet for breakfast, the Windjammer, and they'll have freshly squeezed orange juice. That's part of your package. So it is more than alcohol. The Java Blues are amazing coffee places on a lot of the newer Carnival ships. So I just put all that together, and I think it's what, and like I said, you pay for it before you go.
Yep.
And it's one thing that you don't get hit with on that final bill. So you can buy the cruise. If you buy the cruise 6 months in advance, you can wait to look for specials. At times they'll do specials on the excursions and drink packages, and look for a special. Buy it when it's on special. You can actually buy it, and if you find it at a lower price, you can cancel it and rebuy it. And it just kind of gets everything taken care of before you go. And I hate getting those bills at the end of the cruise where it's just a shell shock. I've been on a few with the Beauty where they used to put that printout outside your door, and she'd grab it because I didn't realize she had gone to the spa and a few other things, which I don't care. But I just kind of like having it all taken care of before I go and not worrying about it, getting what I want, and not worried about what the bill is going to be.
Well, York made a comment that gets, it hits home a little bit. He said, John eating nuts on the live stream is everything. Okay?
I feel I'm going to regret saying this. I'm looking for the mature males.
I ain't forgot you, Doodles.
Looking for the mature
I ain't forgot you.
Hashtag mature males. Hashtag mature males.
Yes.
York prefers more of a mature male.
Actually, I find few very.
Yeah. Well,
That reminds me. So I always get off on tangents. I forgot my story.
okay, what's the story?
So I came up to visit you.
Mm-hmm.
Arnold and I were like the guest hosts.
You weren't like the
Right.
guest host. You were the guest host.
Well, you came in and then Doodles peeped in through the side window.
Yep,
It was a fun night.
I remember.
We then went to your dock afterwards, after the show. God, it was a beautiful night. I mean, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, now I'm drawing a blank again. Wouldn't start.
Oh, douche canoe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But so anyway, it was a great. I was up there for a hockey tournament, and I had to go to the tournament, which was really close by. I stayed in a hotel, be with the games. John actually came to one of our last games.
Yep.
It was a great weekend. So it was supposed to end on a high note that we were having a golf tournament at his club,
Yep.
and it was me, you, Doodles, and Bunta, all sitting at the bar, just hoping that somehow it would stop raining. And so the bartender comes over to me, and I said, I'll do another, I think it was probably a Miller Lite. I'll do a Miller Lite, but I want a shot of Red Bull in it. So I said, give all of these guys one too.
Yep.
And so one by one, they all had them, and they kind of gave that face at first, and then they had another and maybe another, and they're like, these aren't that bad. And John turns to the bartender, and he goes, okay, here's the deal. If anybody ever orders this at the bar, it is now known as the Rooster.
Yep, I remember.
So anytime I say drinking a Rooster, it means a light beer with a shot of Red Bull in it. It can be sugar-free Red Bull too.
Why did I think there was whiskey involved?
No, it's just light beer and Red Bull.
Oh, okay. Well,
and then what was that bar you took me to after that?
Stan's.
That was so cool.
Yeah, well, so speaking of Stan's, we're not going to Stan's for this weekend, but we are celebrating Doodles' birthday this weekend. And we're going to a bar quite similar called Pincrest. Doodles has recently fell in love with that bar. It's a bowling alley. It's a stinking daggone freaking bowling alley. But, you know, he loves it, and it's his birthday celebration, and that's where we're going. But we'll probably end up across the street at another bar called the Ye Old Inn, or the Ye Old Pub, I think it's called. And that is exactly like Stan's, except just a little bit more dirty and redneck.
Okay, well, you have to tell him before we go to these places, you're going with me to the club, and we're going to have a damn Rooster.
Okay, well.
Right? Or two.
I'll have one this weekend in your honor, and I'll make sure to film it. How about that?
That's even better. So, back on my tangent about people cruising, I'm sure that I think I showed my one envelope that makes me a little sad, but can everybody see this one?
I could see it just fine.
Yeah, so
canceled.
Carnival Radiance canceled for me because of not being able to get there and not being as brave as the brand horse, spending 2 full days in their car.
Yeah, but I mean, you had good reason.
Oh, it is what it is. But because of that fiasco that Southwest went through, they have lowered their fares. So I booked the Allure of the Seas. Round trip to Houston, I just bought was $305. And before I was looking at the end of the year, it was over $400. So I have another cruise that goes out in April out of Fort Lauderdale. I paid nonstop round trip air to Fort Lauderdale for $238.
Wow.
I haven't paid that. I looked back in like November, December, and it was $425. So the Seattle cruise, what's that also known as?
The Freezer Bogakov cruise with Sharon at Sea Travel Ship Show Group Cruise.
Yes, and my little shout out to Sharon. I heard she's not doing so well. Hurt her shoulder going up to Minnesota. I hope she's feeling better, and my good friend Jamie. But I was looking just maybe about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I was struggling. I was really struggling to find airfare, and it was going to be about $650 a person.
Yep.
I just looked today. It's now $425, which is, to me, when you're going
Southwest
from St. Louis to Seattle, it's reasonable. I can live with that.
Look at this. Lolo Dash has a Doodles crush. Ooh. Well,
whoa.
Who knew? Now we know. Hey, Lisa! Show's not complete without a song, says Richard Zellner. Is Lindy Lou? Oh, there she is. I'm so happy to sing to you. Yeah. That's for you, Lindy Lou.
I see the comment. Nice penmanship, so I've always been told I could have been a doctor. I know. It's not good.
Oh.
I print to try to make it better, but I'm so impatient that I write too fast and it becomes scribbly, and I'm about the only one that. So Melissa and I will be going on a flight. We're checking on a Southwest airline, and I'm constantly thinking a 5 is an S, a Z is a 2, and she's like, "How is this not working?" And it's like it's just because of my handwriting. So I know I'm not very good at it, but. I'm just saying, if you have a cruise coming up and you have not booked your airfare, I can't speak for other airlines. St. Louis used to be a hub for Delta or American, and before that it was Ozark and TWA, and so we got great fares and we had tons of direct flights. Now the best one is Southwest. For most places, not all, but for most. But if you have not booked your airfare, I highly recommend you look and do it. The great thing, now that's a classic right there. That's a classic.
Well, Doodle said he had a rooster earlier, so I put that up in his honor.
When did he have the rooster? I want to know when. I want to know where.
He said tonight. So.
Oh, come on. I think he totally forgot about that drink.
He said he had one.
I believe him. All right.
He said he had one.
So it's great if you need like a little bit of a boost.
Well,
and it tastes good. The first one you have, it's a little, but then after that, it kind of grows on you, right?
No, I agree 100%. Oh my gosh. Speaking of when you and Arnold, I'm over here like reminiscing. I'm going down memory lane here. How about that? That was from that night.
It was really good, except for the photobomb.
Look at that.
I'd say, hey, if you're going to post a photobomb like that, you need to get a little bit of a tan.
I agree, 100%. I had a rooster at the club. True story, says Doodles.
Did the bartender remember that what a rooster was, though? That's that kid that was bartending. He was the coolest guy ever.
Oh, yes, he was.
And I want to know, if you ordered it, did they know what it was?
Well,
right?
He probably said, "Can I just get a light beer and a Red Bull?" You know what I'm saying? But Wanda Byram seems to think that Doodles is hot fire as well. Who knew? I mean, for crying out loud, just look at it. Boom. Take that, a nip all up in your facial area. Boom. All right, enough of that.
Hey, go back to that previous photo of Arnold and I with the photobomb.
Okay.
Let everybody look at it for a few seconds, and then next week we'll do battle nips.
Well played, Larry. Well played indeed. Well, listen, I'm sure you have a gazillion other talking points, but here we are. It's 11:07. We've already gone an hour and a half. Who said that? Lolo Dash says she's drinking Malort. Okay. Wendy Johnstone says Lampshade Lady. I don't know if that's a drink, but I mean, I would try it. You know, that's funny, Lolo Dash. She says, I did not. Well, Lolo Dash, if you came in and said hello in the Facebook group more than once every 7 weeks, you might have seen a specific New Year's post that I made, but I'm just giving you, the business, Lolo Dash. The rooster didn't used to have abs, but the rooster has abs now. Okay. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I'll agree with that one.
So, but I have been really, really genuinely, I promise you all, working on this video, okay? No, Jimmy, it ain't your bedtime. Don't give me that. It's freaking 8 o'clock at night over there, for heaven's sakes, bedtime. Jimmy, you can suck it! Huh?
He's got to sell a lot of paint tomorrow.
He's got to sell me a bill of goods about going to bed. He's probably editing, like we said last week, going to bed. He's going to TikTok. Be honest, Jamie, you're going to TikTok. Just say it. You're going to crawl into bed in your PJs and you're going to watch TikTok videos about nothing. I know, I love you and your abs. I'll be better, shiphead, in 2023. Oh, for crying out loud. Oh my gosh, look. Oh, never mind. Lampshade Lady is Mary, new name by Wendy. Oh, okay. Oh, Mary Barkley's new name, Lampshade Lady. Okay, it's starting to make sense. Scott the Hammer McNeil. He says goodnight. Scott the Hammer McNeil, I don't know if you've been made aware. I don't know if you've spoken to the Slingster, but we have plans in Costa Maya to film an epic video. And it's funny because when Slinky approached me with that idea, I told her, Slinky, have you not seen what I've been dealing with the last 3 months? You should have saved that idea until the day of, because now I'm going to have a script written. But let me just say, Scott, I hope you'll be involved. We have a new video idea in the works with the Locadores. So stay tuned. Mary Barkley says it's my lampshade hat from the New Year's Eve cruise. I get it now. Jamie has to go potty. That's why he has to go. That could be the case. I wasn't sure if Nautical Nurse Nancy was here tonight, but I stumbled across something that I hadn't seen in a while. And I was gonna play it. I'm just gonna play it anyway. All right, Scott's in. Ready?
Hey, Bagat! Yes! Hi, you guys! Yes!
We're talking Nurse Nancy.
So naughty, hey,
So naughty. We're talking Nurse Nancy.
So naughty, hey,
So naughty. We're talking Nurse Nancy.
Nurse Nancy, don't need formal night to get fancy. And you better not show up late to the shit because you know she's gonna get antsy. And it's cruise day with Anthony, Naomi, Hannah, and Eddie, the family. And sharing that sea. Nancy!
So naughty, hey, Bagat!
All right, I just had to share that. I was going through all kinds of files, right? Like, things seemed to be working for me, Larry. So I was just like, well, let's see what else I can add into the mix. So I started finding.
That was a nice flashback.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That was those were fun times. You know, like this.
And now, Deep Thoughts by the Rooster.
All right. One last thing. I don't know how many people in the chat are going to be on the Vloggers Cruise that's coming up. I'm hoping there's quite a few, but I did want to mention the special event coming up, Cigars Under the Stars, January 30th. 10 o'clock p.m. at Spice H2O. Okay? For whatever reason, Facebook in the groups somehow keeps changing the time. I'm not changing the time, but it keeps like flip-flopping back and forth. I think it has something to do with the time change. But at any rate, I would love to see y'all at Cigars Under the Stars. And I'm trying not to be too busy in that group. There's been a lot of things happening, and it's not my group cruise, and I don't want to like take advantage. So we will be there, smoking cigars and drinking bourbon and cussing out Larry for not figuring out a way to make it to the event.
I'll be in Alaska. That's the best I can say, and I'll be on another one before that. But here's my question on that Cigar Under the Stars. Why is it 10 to 11? Do the wives only let you go for an hour?
Well, I wouldn't say that so much. I think the reason why it's from 10 to 11 was because we knew people would probably be at dinner, right? And we knew they'd probably want to catch a show. And we figured the people that really did want to smoke a cigar would show up at that time. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we chose that time. Somebody said,
bring a Robusto, not nothing big. Bring something a little smaller. But I wish I was there really bad, really, really bad. It's I had to choose between the New Year's Eve cruise and that one.
no, I get it.
And I chose the New Year's Eve and that fell through. But now my two hockey teams are doing so well that I can't miss anything. And it's just a really, really bad time. But I will be on the Melissa and I will both be on the Alaska cruise.
Yep.
We're also on the Icon that Sharon booked for people. We're on the one out of London that goes to Norway and Iceland.
My goodness.
Yeah. Plus, we book other ones. I mean, I'm not afraid to say which ones we're going on. That if other people want to go, I love when I introduce people to cruising or other people that do cruise are able to go with us. It's not like I have to have private time, really. It's like anybody can go, and that's what I love about cruising. You can go your own way, you can meet back up and do your own thing. But I wish I was there, and I was on Nancy's show the other night, and unbelievably, she put this thought in my head. She's like, "So you can't do the cruise? Can you at least come to New Orleans before the cruise?" I was like, "Wow, that's kind of a cool idea. That's kind of a cool idea." Bourbon Street for a couple nights.
That guy right there should be there. We're coming in 2 days early. You should be there. You, right there. Oh. I'm all up in your face. I'm all in your face.
She put thoughts into my head. She did when she said, "Well, at least you can come to New Orleans." So,
well, you should. You should.
Wow. I'm considering it. That's the best I can say right now. I'm considering it. It all depends on schedules. That's like I said. If my teams weren't doing this well, it's not that big a deal for me to miss something. But it's just hard to miss right now. That's the best I can say. But if there's an opportunity to go, I'll look into it. And I would love to be there. I love Bourbon Street. I've only been there one time. I mean, and here, I know you want to cut this show off, but I have to say this. So
no, listen. If you got something to say, I want to hear it.
I do. Just give me the deep thoughts.
Okay, you got it.
Please, I need the deep thoughts.
If I can find it.
It's not a rant. It's a deep thought.
And now, Deep Thoughts by the Rooster.
Uh-oh.
No, we're fine. We're fine.
Okay. So, we weren't able to make the cruise, and Melissa and I have become such great friends with so many people, especially Larry and Diane Brandhorst that live close to us and offered to, they were going to drive there, offered to get an SUV, and we'd drive with them, which meant a lot to me. It really did. But once they got there, and they got on the ship, and of course Jamie was reaching out, and Sharon was doing everything she could. I'll just say it to people. I don't have secrets. I was dumb on my part because I normally get it lately, but I did not get cruise insurance, so I was losing out. And not only the New Year's Eve cruise, but I said to Melissa, if we're going all the way out there, and airfare was kind of high, let's do a back-to-back, and we'll do the 4-day and the 3-day. So I had 2 cruises that got canceled that I didn't have insurance for. But when the people before heard we weren't going to be able to make it, they were giving us great shout outs. But then when they got on the ship, the first day was tough. It was really tough because I saw how much fun they were having. And then after that, I was like, I can't spoil their fun. I can't do that. I want them to have a great time, and I let them all know it. And then the one night, Jamie got Mary, and I think Daniel Fields was there. Larry Brandhorst. I can't remember who else. I'm sorry if I forgot people, but he had them all at the bar, and I swear it was. He said they didn't have Buffalo Trace, so they got Woodford, and it was doubles, and they gave me a toast, and every person there. I mean, it was way bigger than that, for a shot, and they all did them. They toasted me and Melissa for not making it, and they did that shot, and it meant a lot to me. It was very nice, and that's what I say all the time. That's what the cruising community brings. That's what it's about, and you make the best of friends of people that you never thought you'd be friends with. So that's my deep thought for the night.
Well, you said it just as I finished framing you up in the thing there, but I hear you. And that's the one thing that has been constant with me in this space is that, the cruise community itself is a very unique space just in the size, because it's a smaller niche. But there's no denying the friendships that we've made and how special they are. You know what I'm saying? And, when somebody that we've cruised with before can't make it, it always makes you sad a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And to be able to celebrate your friends like that, we'll be toasting you, especially at Cigars Under the Stars. I know you're going to be heavy on my mind that evening. No doubt about it. And, maybe, there's part of me, I'm not going to lie. There's part of me that thinks that you're trying to pull a rooster. I'm just saying.
You know what? All right, I'm just saying. I told you that Melissa and I were going on Symphony of the Seas.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, why don't you go? And you're like, oh, that'd be nice, but I got to go on this other cruise later. And I told Melissa, I said, it wouldn't shock me if we walk on the Royal Promenade and there he is.
Well, stay tuned. Stay tuned. But listen, it's time to go. We got to go. And one
last thing. I got a message from your neighbor, Doodles.
Yeah.
I swear I had a rooster. Noah, the bartender, served me and remembered.
Oh, yeah. Noah's the jam.
How cool is that?
No, Noah is definitely my jam. I love my boy Noah. So, yeah, you see, Rooster wasn't lying.
I want it on your menu.
Well, they won't put it on the menu. It's bad enough that anytime I walk in there, they begawk me.
When Doodle's a 2 handicapper and you a 6 handicapper don't get put on the menu, come on.
Oh yeah, funny. That's even more funny.
Good one.
Yeah. Come on now.
Well, here's the deal. I haven't played with with Doodles yet. I played with you, but not Doodles.
Well,
I haven't. So
he sucks. I mean, I'm just gonna say it because I know he's left already. That's all.
What about Bunta? Is he good?
He's getting better.
Do you want to know of the cruising community? You want to know my opinion of the biggest sandbagger?
The biggest sandbagger? Arnold Kump.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes. I suck. I'm terrible. First tee, whoo, 250 down the middle. Next tee, whoo, 260 down the middle. He goes, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I know. We all know Arnold's full of malarkey, but whatever.
Oh my God. Yes, without a doubt. He's actually pretty good.
Yeah, all right. Well, listen, I got 2 things to share with you. One is this.
Hey guys, Tom Bergeron coming to you from my backyard. Let me get into my character here. Hello there, shipheads. It's your old pal Tom. Speaking of old pals, I just wanted to drop in and say hi to my friends John and York. Hope you guys are doing well. Anyways, enjoy the ship show, Coop. Much like my shows, it will be epic. Then I'm supposed to make a chicken sound. That's a step too far. All the best, you guys. Take care. Stay safe. Hey guys, Tom Bergeron coming.
How about that? How about that?
That's a classic.
That still gets me in the subcockles, right?
I need that in a version that I can take that to FedEx and get that made into a poster.
Well, did you just fart? Seriously, be honest.
No, that was my chair.
Oh.
You know what? After last week when you said thought you did, I did what? And I just peed and I made that noise and Wanda commented too.
No, that's coming. Don't even mention, because that's not over yet. That sound you made.
So I gotta admit, I was at the mall during Christmas with Melissa, and we both had to go to the bathroom. We go to the bathroom. We came out. She's like, "Why?" She's like, "Did you pee?" I'm like, "Of course I did. I go really bad." She's like, "Why do you have to make that noise when you pee? We could all hear you through the wall." I'm like, I don't know. I don't realize I did.
Well, Bunta does something similar. Every time he coughs, he goes, what is this?
Hello there, Coop. It's Le Duché of the Canoe Clan, wishing you all a happy new year. Good. Well, hello there, Coop. It's Le Duché of the Canoe Clan.
Man, I didn't know that was a year old. Shit, I think that was the last... Wow. Larry, I think that was the last video I put out, quite frankly. Before the one that I'm about to put out here soon. I swear to y'all, I have been tirelessly working. And anybody who knows me, like Larry and Jamie and Arnold and Wanda and Paul and Pepito, they've seen that I'm not just sitting around doing nothing. This video's just kicked my butt. It's almost over, and after that, you're just going to get bombarded with a bunch of mediocre crap. So just prepare yourselves, okay? I'm going to do this epic video, and then after that, I am going to just inundate you with nonsensical garbage. Lindy Lou says, yes, she farted.
By chance, is your beer bottle cutting off my face?
What?
Looks like
What'd you say?
No.
Here, you want a drink?
Yeah, there.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'll pour it right
See if
now.
I can get it in. How do I find the right? There you go. Oh, right there. Oh, yeah. Take it. All right. Listen. It's time to go, y'all. And normally I would do, like some sort of outro compilation, saying goodnight, something. But tonight, we will leave you all with our good friend Mare singing.
Got a date a week from Friday with the preacher's son. Everybody says he's crazy, I'll have to see. I finally...
All right, enough of that. I didn't mean to cut it off, but whatever. All right, listen, we're out of here. But I told you guys I had been working on this video. Dang it. That wasn't supposed to happen, Larry. I've been working on this video, y'all. And this is how I'm going to shut it down. Promise you, on the next live stream, and I'm going to be live next week, that I will be dropping this video.
We will be live.
Yes, absolutely. I meant I'll be dropping the video. And here's the plan. I plan to drop it as a premiere on YouTube, right? And we will go live immediately after, if that makes any sense to you.
Sounds like a plan.
I'll drop it after Tommy Casabona with Always Be Booked. He'll be live next week as usual at 8 o'clock. One of these days I'll be prepared and be able to go in and check him out and return the super chat favor. But next week.
Good night. Good night, Wanda. Good night, Kelly. Good night, Gina.
Good night. God bless us, everyone.
Everyone.
I'm put it this way, 9 o'clock the video will drop. Yes, you're right. So we won't be able to watch it, says Arnold. You'll be able to watch the premiere. Everything else might go kablooey, but you'll be able to watch the premiere. And it'll also give Larry and I another week. You know, we're getting there. We're going to make it look like we're really in the same room. We're close. We're close.
He's teaching me, and I won't make the same mistake twice. I promise.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just glad you didn't stab me in my heart.
No, I wouldn't stab you in the heart.
For not typing in Larry join.
Well, I knew there was something because you kept saying, I'm here, I'm here.
I was like, what am I? Jamie's like, what's the problem? I said, I don't think it's on my end. I'm just sitting here drinking a beer. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, it is my fault.
Stephen Hall says, Stephen Hall says, where is Doodles? Stephen Hall, Doodles is at home. Doodles is less involved in the show these days. And you know, it's funny, somebody commented the other day about, I'm sorry, I won't watch without Doodles. And that's fine. I mean, that's, you know, Doodles was a fantastic co-host to this show. I mean, and to this day, we're still great buddies. We're going out Friday, hanging out, chilling. But I understand, you know, if you decide, you know, it's not the same without Doodles. But you know what? Have you considered it's possible that it could be better? Have you considered that? Have you considered giving us some time?
Can I interject?
Well, hold on. I just asked
Go ahead.
that, you know me, when I put my head to something, I go full bore. So you've got to give us some time before you start making these decisions about absolutes, because I can tell you without a doubt, what little you've seen of Larry, this is his third live stream. Just wait till he really gets comfortable. I mean, hell, this was his second live stream and he lit a cigar, for heaven's sakes. So, you know, just stay tuned. We'll be naked before long. That's all I'm going to say. Give us time. Don't be quick to tune out because you don't know what you're missing. And Larry, did you take the microphone off the towel? Because all of a sudden it's making all kinds of noise.
No, I didn't.
Are you fidgeting?
A little bit.
All right. What were you going to say, buddy?
Well, Doodles is great. I got to meet him when I went up there. I think he's a great guy. I mean, I really liked him. I had great fun with him. I wish we could have played golf that day. I wish we would. Unfortunately, when I got there, the reason we didn't spend more time together is he had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? He had COVID. So literally, you took me over to him. You parked at the end of his driveway. He walked to the top of our driveway, and we waved and said, "Oh, that's Larry."
You know what? I forgot about that.
Doodles.
I forgot about that till you just said.
He had COVID. Otherwise, we would have spent more time together. So I think he's great. I'm not trying to replace him by any means. he's you get pulled in different directions. I would love for him to come on too. I just look upon this. I think John's amazing. He's a really good friend of mine. I love this show. I want to be part of it. I'm trying to bring new and creative ideas to this. So is John. And that's all I can say is give us a chance. Give us a chance. And we're kind of new at this, working together, especially that I'm not sitting right next to him. And tonight's problem was 100% my fault. And I apologize that we were late. But I'll try to get better and not make those kind of mistakes. And
Larry, don't try. Listen, whatever happens, happens. That's the best thing about. They're used to these things. We get a free pass.
That's why it's called.
We
right?
get a free pass for the technical difficulties. That I've learned in the many years that we've been doing this, no doubt. So. You know what, Larry, I'm glad to have you, and I'm actually excited to see, what comes out of it. And I want to get our boy Arnold a little bit more involved. I know Trevor's got some things already pre-recorded that we're going to integrate into the show after the Vloggers Cruise. Paul may do some litigation. Moving forward, we'll see. I do miss his weekly intros. I got to talk to him about that. Like, I miss those. Those were a huge part of the show. If he decides for whatever reason, what is going on? What's that?
What is that? What is that going on my face?
I don't know. Something's jabbing you in the chin.
It's gone now. It's gone now.
But even if Paul decided that he didn't want to film it anymore, I have enough that I could just pretend that he did it that night. I don't think anybody would remember, and if they did, they would play along anyway. But with that being said, Luna's over here chewing on my green screen. It's time to go. I'm going to share the last little morsel. Don't blame me, I have my ship together, says Cruising for Food. Kelly Madison says Larry is doing great. This is all what makes the ship show what it is. Robin Allison says, I think Larry is a great addition to the show. So do I. It's a ship show after all. It's a world of laughter, a world of tears. It's a world of hope and a world of fears. There's so much that we share that it's time we're aware it's a ship show after all. Everybody, it's a ship show after all. Okay, no, not doing it for you, Larry. You're not singing.
I cannot believe you know the words to It's a Small World.
Listen.
That's just you. That's you.
We got something.
You know 10,000 songs. But I do have to give a shout out to my good friend Kelly Madison. Really good to see you. Thank you for the kind words. I can't wait till we cruise again that I get to see you. I met you in Las Vegas, and I thought
that was poorly timed. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What was that?
That was for Wanda over here. Go ahead. Sorry, Larry.
Oh. My good friend, I met her in Las Vegas, and I feel like she is a very good friend of mine. And Kelly, I think of you every day. I promise you. And thank you for the kind words. And I can't wait till we cruise again.
Well, Wanda's out here saying, "Oh, I hate that song. I've unsubbed." I think.
All right, for that, say it one more time.
Say what?
Sing it one more time.
No, I'm just gonna say I think Justin Timberlake said it best when he said, "Cry me a river." Oh wait, look what I just found, Larry.
What'd you find?
All right, we have got to get someone. Come on in, boys. Come on in. They have their own YouTube channel. Okay. What's up, everybody? Introduce yourself. Let's give you a microphone. You have a microphone here. Sorry. I brought you on micless. That's all right. There you go. It's a Bob Barker mic. All right. Hey. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. While some, aspire to be on Saturday Night Live or.
I mean, that is. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that. We were actually
I have never seen that.
We were guests on the morning show on Harmony of the Seas. That was cruise director Bing Bong. And you know, Arnold Kump, if you're still here, and Trevor and Doodles, the guy who was the cruise director sitting next to him, that was the assistant cruise director. He was actually the cruise director on Freedom of the Seas. He was the assistant cruise director on Harmony, but the real cruise director on Freedom of the Seas. The dude didn't say a word. The only words he spoke the whole cruise were listing the names of the people who may have missed their muster drill. And he had a really funny name. I'm not going to say it out loud here. But for real, we're out of here. Thanks for watching. This is the last little tidbit for the video that's coming next week. I figured, why not give you guys a tour of the news studio that I used in this video? And I just want you to know that the only reason I made this video was so that I would have a backdrop for the end credits of this video. And, you know, I'm glad I did. So here you go. Tune in next week. I promise we will be releasing the Cruise Court video followed by the Larry Bum and Rooster live stream, ship show style.
Good night, John.
Good night, Larry. I'll call you right after and we'll discuss. Uh-oh. Hold on. Let me fix this. Where am I at? There we go. Let me get this right. I'm coming back, Larry, so don't go nowhere. Oh, Daniel, don't worry about it. We want you to hear us. What people don't realize is, they don't realize that since I made this video, I added dancing chickens and all kinds of other stuff to it.
So they can't hear us?
Yes,
right
they can.
No, we're still here. All right. Melissa said I need bronzer.
No, it's just the camera. Don't worry. Once we fix the lighting.
No one has ever told me I need a bronzer before.
There you go. All right, listen, y'all. Just wanted to say.
This right
Oh
here.
boy.
She said I need bronzer.
Uh-oh.
Melissa said I need bronzer.
Well, if you get close to the camera, I don't know if you notice, but you get much more tan. See how your face changes as you move forward? That is the downside of the webcam. It tries to expose everything. But listen, you're a little hot in the Max C, says See the World with Chris. Kelly Madison, thank you. I appreciate it. Just a little tour of the studio. Don't take any wood nickels, says Cruising for Food. A little over modulation. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Little over modulated. Listen. Larry.
Yes.
You're my boy, Blue. And I'll see you in a couple weeks on the breakaway. We're going to make it happen. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Great show. Great show.
I ended it before you could say it.